Hello, StarCraft fans! This is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between FireCake and Serral on Ruins of Seras. In the bottom left side of the map, we have the blue Zerg player. It is FireCake. And in the top left side of the map, we have the red Zerg player. It is Serral. So two of my favorite Zerg players battling it out for today on Ruins of Seras. I do love both of these guys so very, very much. Both very aggressive Zerg players. Both very technically sound Zerg players. And I wish they were playing somebody other than each other, because then one wouldn't have to lose. But as it stands, this is where we are. Alright, so in the background, you will hear Brood War music. Yes, you will. So great to hear. If it's a little bit too loud, let me know, but I think it's okay. I did hear some complaints last time that it was a little too quiet, so I'm bumping it up. And hopefully the levels are fantastic. So hatch first from both of these players, setting up the requisite 300 minerals required. That's redundant to go for that. And extractor coming out for Serral, while FireCake is doing no such thing. Not getting an extractor on either of these Vespian geysers. Instead choosing to what? There it is, just a little bit late. And then going for a spawning pool, I have to assume, next. And indeed it is. There's the pool for FireCake, and where's the pool? There's the pool for Serral. So darn near identical openings for these players, as we can see in this production tab up here. Workers, spawning pools, extractors, hatcheries, nothing too crazy. What happens, what makes this interesting is next. Do we see banelings? Do we see speedlings? Do we see roach pressure here? Overlord for Serral scouts things on out, while the Overlord for FireCake seems to be a little bit late. I don't know. FireCake just waits some time, and maybe he sent this one out first and just got a little bit unlucky, but he knows where his opponent is based on where that Overlord came from, so nothing to worry about as far as I'm concerned. Both players getting that gas, and as soon as that pool finishes, this is where things start to differ, and this is where the interest does start to take place. So there's that pool. Is it immediate speed for anybody? It looks like Serral might be going for speed. He has enough minerals to do so, and yes, going for speed, and speed, there it is on the way up there. And both players, yep, FireCake now starting his too. So you're going to see some speedling activity right on now. Queens coming out for both players. So darn essential for base defense against lings, against banelings. Not so good against roaches, but transfuses can be useful in that. And it is going to be a baneling nest. Baneling nest for Serral. Is FireCake going to do any such thing, or is he going to go speedlings into a roach play, which can be very good, as long as your ability to defend against banelings is excellent. So here comes the lings for Serral. They are slow lings, but by the time they get here, they will be able to make themselves into banelings close. The baneling nest morph is not too slow, or not too fast. Nope, baneling nest for FireCake coming up too. So FireCake doing exactly what Serral's doing, just a little bit slower. And you'd think that would be a disadvantage, but really I don't think it is. It just means you're able to drone up a little bit harder than your opponent. And considering the fact they have to run across the map to get to you, you can have units out to defend. Some ling-on-ling battle here, and oh, Serral getting just a bit of an advantage there. It's 26 to 24 harvesters. Like I said, FireCake getting that slight drone lead because he was delayed on this, delayed on the spawning pool, delayed on the baneling nest, but it should work out just fine for him. I'm not worried at all about FireCake today. There's that +1 carapace coming up from Serral. What this does is it allows lings to survive a single baneling hit. So you'd think this +1 carapace is not a big deal, but it actually does allow the lings to survive and be a little bit more useful after taking a direct hit from a baneling, which is kind of nuts if you think about it. Going from dead to alive based on one single upgrade is really, really useful. I am very happy to see Serral get this one. FireCake instead opting to use his gas to go for a lair. So a lair coming up here for the blue Zerg player. Good scouting by Serral, checking that third base. A third base coming up for Serral too. So some speedlings running around, man, but defensive banelings do not explode there. Well done. Good microed. And man, this Zerg music, good times. Always brings back good memories. Remember the Brood War. Oh yeah, so I am going to consider casting some Brood War stuff here in the future. I need to see if I can get it to run on my computer, though. I'm running Windows 10, and I assume with compatibility mode I should be able to pull it off, but no promises at this point. I'm also not quite sure where my StarCraft CD is. I do have my Brood War CD, but without StarCraft, that's pretty useless. I assume I can buy it on the Battle.net shop. That's where I got Warcraft 3 a few months ago. Maybe a year ago now. Anyway, we'll see if I can make it happen, and if so, you'll get some Brood War casts. So, popping on up here are the lings, trying to force a cancel. Some banelings from FireCake waddling on over, and one does explode, but a single ling with it. That's exactly what you want to do. Trade one ling for one baneling. I can never tell who wins these things, but whoa, big old baneling hits there. Here comes Serral crashing into everything. Defensive banelings trying to pop on up there, but the baneling trying to waddle through, can't quite decide what to attack, and No, it doesn't kill anything. Maybe kills a single Ling, but nothing much else there. Great defense, great hold by FireCake. 61 to 52 total supply. Some more Banelings being morphed in by Serral. Oh, Ling sniping off a queen. Well played. Well decided there by Serral to get on in there and do that thing. Ling's trying to force cancels on the Banelings. Can they get it? No, not quite. Not quite, as pieces of Ling are just thrown everywhere, continuing to push forward with these Lings. Aspire just about to finish for FireCake, though, and Serral continuing with this Ling stuff. So, all right. FireCake knows what he's doing, man. 6 mutas on the way. I don't think Serral has any idea this is happening at all. Defensive Banelings being morphed on in for FireCake. Can they get there? They do. They do. They really, really want to kill these Lings, but the Lings have no interest in attacking them at all. They're going to get in here, try to kill some of these drones. They do manage to pick off a drone, 2 drones. Very quickly indeed there. Just really focusing on workers. I don't know if you want to fight Lings at this position. But hey, another attack down here. The mutas are here. FireCake playing defense with his mutas, interestingly enough. Big Baneling hit there. Oh man, 8 drone kills there. What a play by Serral. Serral still has Lings alive, mind you. He still has Lings running around here. More Lings being chased away. Action all over the map right now. Gathering his forces here is Serral from My Insanity, and both players look like they're taking a bit of a breather. So mutas being used for base defense for FireCake, which is not something you see every day. Spore crawlers are on the way for Serral, recognizing the need to have spores against mutas. So darn good. Always get spores in your ZVZs, guys. Do it. Baneling hit. Nicely done. Taking a few Lings with them, but man, these Lings refusing to go down. The mutas are managing to take them out, but there are just so many of them that it's very difficult indeed. So FireCake, again, not being aggressive with his mutas at all, but so many dead drones. So many dead drones. FireCake is still up 41 to 38. But he has lost. Can I see how many workers killed? Yeah, Serral's killed 12, and he's still down in worker count, which is weird. Big Baneling hit, maybe? No, Serral's too good for that one. Sending off a couple Lings to try to snipe off those Banelings by their lonesome. But nope, FireCake is too good to allow that to happen. It's 81 to 72 total supply. Who's going to move into the next tier next is the question. Lair now on the way for Serral. The 7.5 minute mark was not able to kill his opponent, unfortunately. And now he must continue to tech up himself. +1 flyer attack on the way for FireCake. If I had to choose a player to win right now, I'm going to say it will be FireCake. He's just played a little bit more. Ooh, big Baneling hits there, killing a lot of Lings. That was a nice play by the FireCake. And now that Ling count, man, that map control that Serral had is gone. The mutas might be able to move out to this point. There are 12 total mutas. Yeah, it's time to go. Get out of there. No more Lings coming to try to kill your stuff now that these guys have been cleaned up. Time to go and find your fortune in the world around you. Okay, so there's a Spore Crawler and at least 1 Queen at every single base. I'm not sure how effective these mutas can be, but they're going to make the most of it. Good hit from the Spore there. Trying to fly around. That's a lot of Queens, man. Queen's good against mutas. Don't take extra damage from them. Really hit hard, have some good range, have that transfuse to keep themselves alive. And FireCake says, you know what? That's a pretty darn high Queen count. I'm not going to go down there. It's 8 total. Woo! Serral's been busy with that Queen production, and I can't necessarily say that I blame him. Once you know that there are mutas out, Spores and Queens are your best friends on Earth. Infester's pretty good too. If you can Infester Fungal into like a Corrosive Bile play, which is something we've seen once in a while in ZVZ, but it's kind of hard to pull off, so Queens are a better bet, I think. They're just more stable when it comes down to it. The Ling's trying to snipe down this pesky Zergling that's running around from FireCake, just scouting things out, making sure a 4th hatch is not there, because guess what? FireCake's getting his own. Down here, +2 flyer attack, centrifugal hooks on the way for FireCake, really going for quick Banelings and mutas, which, again, pretty darn solid. So here we go. Trying to sneak on in here is Serral, trying to kill as many drones as he can. Maybe sniping off a Queen. Nope, just stopping. One-stop shopping to take out a single drone. And Queen stabbing away here too. Another drone dies. 2 drones killed. Good micro by Serral. 3. Man, getting 3 while being beat on by defensive Lings. That's insane. So again, Serral has killed 15 workers, but it is currently 61 to 60. FireCake still has that lead. More Ling attacks coming out from Serral. Is there any static defense at all? There are some spine crawlers, but they're not ready to go yet. Oh boy, FireCake, don't lose this base. Don't do it, man. He has some drones transferring. That's not what you need. Here they come. Lings trying to take out these spines. Pretty good decision, I think, to take them out first. Yep, forcing cancels, getting rid of some drones there, too. The Lings coming in and try to hold them off. How are the upgrades on these guys, actually? Any upgrades at all? +1/+1. Oh, is that what it is? Serral has +1/+1 on his Lings. And are there no upgrades at all for... Alright, where's Evolution Chambers? Yeah, okay, so getting melee attack level 2. So it is +1/+0 for FireCake on his Lings, but Serral has that +1/+1, which means they're a little bit more dangerous when it comes right down to it. So that explains why Serral's Lings have been doing a little bit better than I would expect. Those upgrades are really helping. Serral now getting his own Muta, some Muta on Muta action for you today. Lings trying to come on in, but with the Mutas overhead, and especially with that Spine Crawler popping up, that could be a bit of an issue. Serral, though, man, he is known for his Ling harassment, and his ZVZ is no different. Here he comes running right on into this base. No Spine Crawlers here. Drones forced to fight for their lives. The Queen gets sniped on down, and a bunch more drones getting killed there, too. Another attack on up. Ling versus Ling action. 134 to 147 total supply here. Serral with that +1 armor, again, is just doing super well to this point. Can they get a Queen? Nope, not enough to pull that one off, but that Muta count for FireCake is so high. 28 versus, wait, 30 versus 28. So, wow, Serral actually picking that up fairly well himself. All right, so FireCake has enough to actually take down the Spore Crawlers now very quickly, and there it is. Gets rid of it, gets rid of the Queens, really going to town right now, and here comes Serral with his defensive Mutas. How are the upgrades on these guys? +2 Flyer for FireCake, +1 Carapace for Serral. Drones going down here. Air superiority, I think, is going to go to FireCake at this point. 4 Mutas on the way for our friend Serral, but 11 for FireCake. FireCake really going for the Muta route right now. He now has 33. FireCake, nope, 41. 41 to 35 on that Muta count. How many Lings? 320. So FireCake does also have a higher Ling count. So Army Supply, 96 to 91 in favor of FireCake. 64 to 56 on the worker count. Here come the Mutas heading south for Serral. He knows he just needs to start killing stuff. He is in a lot of trouble. If he can maybe supply block his opponent, that is going to be very good here too. I don't see any Viper play. Viper play super duper good here too for the Parasitic Bomb, but neither player seems to be interested in getting any of those Vipers to this point. I'm not sure exactly what the intent is there, to be honest. So some Queen defense and just Muta versus Muta. Again, the micro is crazy with Muta versus Muta. I've been in positions where I felt like I had a definite lead in the Muta count and just absolutely fallen apart to my opponent's Mutalisks, and it's a very embarrassing experience. I don't imagine we'll see that today from either of these players. Another Spore Crawler. Nope, Extractor gets sniped on down there too. Another Extractor sniped down, keeping that worker or that Extractor count low. Very good. In CVZ, FireCake just sniping down as many as he can. He does have, again, that +2 Flyer really coming into play right now, as that does improve the damage done by every single bounce of the Glaive Worm on the Muta. Spore Crawler pops up. It is injured as it was taking attacks, as it was under construction. 7 more Mutas on the way for FireCake. 4 more for Serral. The micro on display right now is absolutely insane. Over 400, over 600 coming for FireCake. Over 300 for Serral. FireCake just sniping down the Mutas. The Mutas not safe. Not in safe places at all. Is it enough to supply block Serral? No, not quite. Big old Muta attack right here. Some Queens stabbing away at the same time. And the bounces everywhere. Pretty good transfuse coming up from Serral. FireCake does not like where he is. He decides to back on out. It's so hard to judge those things because your units are so stacked on top of each other. It's difficult to see. Some Lings trying to get on through here, but no, getting chased away by the Mutas. Another attempt of Lings by Serral. So both players really doing Ling counterattacks while fighting face-to-face with the Mutalisks. +1 Flyer Carapace being researched by FireCake too. So he's just really all in on these Mutas right now. Can he do it is the question of the day, and he's continuing to snipe down Creep Tumors, which is always excellent. Not as good in ZVZ as in like PVZ to get rid of those, but not bad. Man, he has so many Mutas though. He really wants to get that hatch. Does he? I think he might, but look at this. The Ling counterattack is real. Good positioning by the Spine Crawlers, but the upgrades on these Lings, that +1/+1 serving them well. They're going to take out both of the spines. Both of the spines dead. The Mutas do manage to snipe down that hatch, though. That's a big pickup for FireCake. These Lings finally get cleaned up by Lings and Mutas of FireCake's own, and it is now currently 4 bases to 3 bases. Serral not looking good, ladies and gents. 174 to 141 total supply. That Muta count is 33 to 51. FireCake with a huge Muta advantage. Is his +1 Flyer Carapace finished? It is. And here he goes, just going to go for it. Pretty good stacking right here. Another group of Mutas comes flying on in. Serral sees them coming. He's got to feel bad about that one. And it's just Muta on Muta action, taking down drones below at the same time. Lings running around impotently, and that's it. A GG from Serral. Serral with the GG. Serral's defeated, and FireCake is victorious. All right, what a play indeed there by FireCake. Again, I feel like things just kind of snowball at some point there, where it gets to the point that you are able to kind of hold off your spawning pool, hold off your extractor, and then get that worker count up early. It allows you to get that lead. You can afford to take some drone losses. It's not as big of a deal as if you were behind at that point, and from there you just kind of take it apart. Serral really tried to make things happen with the Ling Baneling, really invested a lot into those Lings. FireCake was able to hold it off, able to defend, get that Muta count up, get that +2 Flyer attack, +1 Flyer Carapace, and he wins the game. So that's it. A great CVZ for you today. I hope you enjoyed it, because this has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Go ahead and hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, both at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.